as I have been teasing on Twitter, we have some breaking news here. A late addition to the show, and if you're familiar with the show, you are familiar with her because she was talked about last week on the program. We will get to that in a second, but first, let us introduce our next guest. She is the 115-pound champion for World Series of Fighting. She is Jessica Aguilar. Jessica, are you there?
Hey, Ariel, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much for the time. So
Thank you for having me.
let's not beat around the bush. You have some breaking news. What is it?
That's right. Well, I'm just excited, Ariel. I'm excited to be here as a free agent today. I'm looking forward to, challenging myself against the best and proving why I'm the number one ranked fighter in the world.
So you are
in my weight class.
You're no longer a member of World Series of Fighting.
That's correct.
What happened?
I hadn't fought in a few months, and I think my next step is to be the UFC champion. I've decided to become the next UFC champion, and that's as part of consolidating my number one ranking. So, the UFC wasn't allowed to talk to me while I was under contract with the WSOF, so I've solved that issue for them. I'm a free agent.
So have you signed with the UFC?
No, I have not. Right now, I just want to prove once again why I'm the number one ranked fighter in my weight class. I want to have some fun, and then now the ball's in Dana's court.
So was this kind of like a conditional release where you told World Series of Fighting what you want, where you want to be in your career, and they said, okay, we'll release you if you could sign with the UFC? Because I would have a hard time imagining them saying, all right, just go out and test the waters, and if you sign with Bellator, more power to you.
Well, WSOF was amazing. I asked them, and I told them what I wanted, and they granted me release to do whatever I wanted to do. But obviously, my goal is to be the number one in my weight class, and that's in the UFC. So if I have to do that, that's my move. I want to just continue proving why I'm the best and challenge myself against those ladies and amazing athletes there. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to have some fun and defend what's mine.
Well, congratulations on that news. I'm wondering, when did it officially come into play? When did it happen? When did it officially become official?
It's official today.
It happened today.
Today.
Wow.
Today I'm officially released. Yes. So it's this is fresh. This is fresh, and I'm grateful to be live with you, sharing the story for everyone. I just want to see women's MMA continue, to hugely evolve, and I just want to do, the best to grow the sport and for our fan base. So I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited.
How long has this been in talks for? When did you come up with this idea that it might be best for you to head over to the UFC?
A week ago.
Oh, that's it.
Yes, it's been on my mind. I had a lot of fun with WSOF, and I appreciate everything the opportunity that they gave me to continue, living my dream and doing what I love to do. But now it's what's next for me. I have to continue proving why I'm the number one world ranked in my division, and if that has to be in the UFC, then that has to be in the UFC, and I'm grateful to do that. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen.
So you say this all kind of came into play. The wheels were in motion a week ago, and then, so I am reminded of something that was said on this very show a week ago, exactly 7 days ago. Now, for those that missed it, and perhaps you missed it as well, I know we spoke briefly about it. This was said on this very program exactly 1 week ago. We had Carla Esparza, and at the 11th hour of the interview, I threw out your name. You have a history. You fought once, you beat her, and you also have gone back and forth a little bit. And then she kind of dropped the bomb. This is what Carla Esparza had to say about you, Jessica Aguilar, exactly 1 week ago.
I'm trying to say that she's a cheater, and I don't think that because of what she's done, she can call herself number one ever since she's ever fought, even since she's beaten me years ago. I felt like if you cheat, then you never really even won that fight. So, whatever.
You think she takes PEDs?
Oh, I
She,
know for facts.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not gonna get into that.
Okay,
Like
okay.
it doesn't really matter. Like if she's not getting popped or if she hasn't been tested, not really anything that anyone can say or do. So I'm not really gonna sit here and harp on it. But
Okay, now I
you
really
know,
want to see the fight.
right?
The rematch.
yeah, she just talks so much trash on me. I just feel like I almost felt like not even putting her on blast, but just almost personally messaging her, like, really, like, how can you call yourself a martial artist and how can you sit here
This is
and talk
funny.
trash on me and how you're number one if you're gonna go and do these things, you know? But
You think she was
not
dirty when she
just
fought
like-
you?
Oh, I know she was.
Really? How do you know?
For a fact. Because a friend of mine told me that they personally gave her shots
my.
in her butt or
Oh, my.
whatever. So, whatever, girl. You're not number one. You've never been number one. So get over it.
Wow. Was that the reason why you asked to be released?
No, I mean, no, that wasn't the reason. Like I told you, Ariel, I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But she can say whatever she wants. My record speaks for itself. As far as the better fighter, hopefully she gets a chance, to put her money where her mouth is soon. My record speaks for itself. And when I say record, I'm meaning my athletic commission record.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing but clean results, and the message to Carla is be real, Sorry, you keep losing to better fighters. Man, how about congratulating somebody, doing something good, saying something good about them versus making excuses and making up negative stories about others. It's crazy. It's just how I don't know. It's crazy. But anyways, so hopefully soon, she'll have a chance to put to put her money where her mouth is. So that's it. That's all on that.
So you think this is sour grapes from her? She's coming up with excuses and she's making stuff up.
Oh my gosh! I mean, how many excuses? Carla's possibly taking she's probably taking so many hits to the head, that the only logical explanation for her behavior is, I don't know. I mean, she's, I say this because I personally know how hard, how many times I get hit in the head, but I mean, I don't act like that. So whatever she wants to do, whatever she wants to say, soon, Soon she'll have hopefully the opportunity. Like I said again, to put her mouth where her money where her mouth is. So,
but
we'll see how that goes, Ariel.
You know this, Jessica. In athletics, this is the biggest insult someone can throw their opponent's way or any other athlete's way. I mean, this is a huge accusation. She's going as far as saying that she knows the person who is doing this to you, who's giving you PEDs. I mean, you don't find that, you don't get insulted by that, you don't get worked up. I mean, it's amazing. When I reached out to you, you're like, nah, nobody got time for that. And I'll be like, wow, I respect you for saying, you know what, I'm not even gonna, put stock into this, but that is a huge knock on your character, and it's an attempt to put a blemish on your record. So you're not bothered by this?
Absolutely. For me, I'm kind of like, if it's not true, why put so much time into it? I mean, there's other bigger things that I have on my mind. But then, while I sit on it and I think about it, and other people are like, well, that's not fair. What she's saying is not even cool. Like you said, it's not, it's something serious, but again, I have my records clean. There's nothing but clean results on my end. And all I can tell my fans is that that's not true. They, believe it, and that's it. We move forward. I have nothing but respect for the sport, and I want to do nothing but, nothing but to be good for the sport. To do what's best for the growth of the sport and for our fan base.
Let's say you do sign with the UFC. Would you like Carla Esparza to be your first fight inside the octagon?
Ariel, my goal is to become the UFC champion. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
So if they give me, whatever, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen, how it's going to play out. But my goal is to become the champion, the UFC champion, and if they give me a fight before that, and if it's Carla, pleasured. I will be my pleasure, and I will be, it'll probably be the happiest day of my life.
Oh, do you think, considering the fact that a lot of people still have you as the number one strawweight in the world, you're a champion in another organization, do you think you deserve an immediate title shot?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do deserve that, Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
I've dedicated my almost a decade to the sport. Everything that I've accomplished is because of my dedication, my team, my fans, all the hard work I've put in. So yeah, man, I do, feel that I deserve that.
Has your management team talked to the UFC yet?
We have not spoken to anyone yet.
Okay. Are you confident a deal will be made?
I'm very confident, and if the fans want to see it, if all the media wants to help, hey man, if you guys want to see me in the UFC or see me be the number one strawweight in the world for many more years, let's get it, get on the bat, get on the Jag campaign.
And what do you make of the new strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk? She looked very good against Carla Esparza. What do you make of her?
She's amazing. I have a lot of respect for her. I love the way she carries herself. She's a very skilled athlete. It's exciting. I want to have fun. It's Joanna's a different type of athlete. She's like me. She's always seeking out the opportunities to fight the best possible opponents. And I'm ready to take our skills up to the next level. So. Like I said, I want to see, the sport continue to evolve and do what's best to grow the sport.
Do you think she beats Jessica Penne next month?
Man, I like them both, but I do think she gets that fight.
And, we talked when you were still in World Series of Fighting and the UFC was introducing the strawweight division, and you had all the right things to say, and I didn't expect you to say otherwise because you were working for World Series of Fighting. It would be silly to knock them. But now that you are a free agent, would you say that it was a little tough being on the sidelines, being in the sport for so long, and your division finally gets introduced to the UFC? They have the reality show. They're getting a lot of attention, and you were on the outside looking in. You were fighting opponents who, while, very solid, dangerous, weren't, as recognizable, as well known, as highly ranked, and you weren't getting the attention that, some of these other women who may not be as accomplished as you are were getting in the UFC. Was that a hard thing for you to digest?
No, Ariel. I still think the same as I thought when everything was going on. Everything happens for a reason. I'm very grateful to the WSOF, to all the staff, all the team, for giving me the opportunity that they gave me. I had a great year last year, and I was excited to see what was happening in my division with the UFC. But they were great. They gave me an opportunity. I took it, and for those fans and people that don't know, I signed with the WSOF before UFC even announced that they were opening my division. And I could have easily said, I'm going to leave my contract with WSOF and go to the UFC. But, that's just not me, and it didn't make sense at that time. So, everything happens for a reason, and I'm just grateful that I continue having a great team behind me and people who support me, and I'm just ready for the next chapter. And I feel that it's just that time to unify my number one ranking and under the UFC flag. I think it's just my destiny. It's time.
Are you at all worried that you might be pigeonholing yourself here because you're telling everyone that you want to fight in the UFC, and so you don't have a lot of leverage now? You can't say,
I'm excited.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm excited. I don't even know how to express my emotions right now. I'm very excited.
Well, we are excited for you.
Thank you so much, Ariel.
This is big. The best should be fighting the best, and I think this is a step towards that. And I think a lot of credit has to go to World Series of Fighting for agreeing to this. I don't know if a lot of organizations would do that, so I think they deserve a lot of credit. What's the game plan here?
Absolutely.
How do we get you to sign that contract? Like, what do you think it's going to take? How long do you think it's going to take? When do you think you'll finally make your debut? What do you have planned out in your mind?
I don't know, man. Like I said, the ball's in Dana's court. That's, if you guys want it as soon as possible, you guys get on the JAG campaign and help out. But I'll be ready. I'll be ready. My phone's, on. If I'm not training, it'll be on. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready anytime anything comes. Whoever comes, whatever the future may hold, I'm ready.
And Sean Shelby, who is the matchmaker for the strawweights, huge fan of this show. He never misses it. So he's probably listening right now. Anything you'd like to say to him?
I'm here. I'm ready.
Do you know him? Do you have a relationship with him?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't,
Great guy, though. Great guy.
Awesome. Well, nice meeting you. If you're listening, and you're listening to your next UFC strawweight champion.
Okay, final thing. If Sean calls you today and says, we want to be in business, we're going to sign you all this stuff, and I'm offering you two things. This is Sean Shelby. I'm offering you a shot at the winner of Jędrzejczyk Penne or a shot against Carla Esparza to shut her up. Which are you picking?
Joanna and Penne.
Okay.
My goal is to become the UFC champion. Carla's old news. I mean, if they give, if something works out and they say, okay, this is what's going to happen, and they throw Carla in, and there's no other, But my number one, what my mind is set on, is becoming the next UFC champion. To unify my number one ranking. That's it.
You can't say it any more clear than that. I hope if you do sign with the UFC, when you sign with the UFC, that you will still be rocking the luchador mask, you and your corner.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
It's great.
Yes, that's with me. That comes with me, and I'll be getting one to you soon.
Oh yes, and it's almost a shame that this didn't happen a couple months ago. Because imagine your debut in Mexico City. How about that? That'd be something.
Oh my God, that would be a dream come true.
I think it will happen.
Holy.
It would happen.
Wow, that'll be amazing. That would be amazing. Wow.
A happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you so much. 23. Woo!
Yes, exactly. You don't look a day older, 15. So congratulations on
That's
all.
awesome.
And congrats on this news. And thank you so much for coming on our show and breaking the news. I appreciate both you and your team for allowing this to happen. I hope you get it done, and I hope we get to see you inside the octagon sooner rather than later.
Thank you so much, Ariel. And again, like I always say in every interview, I just want to, thank my team, my fans. Without you guys, everyone who supported me from day one and continue supporting me, it's because of you guys that I'm here. So thank you so much, and I'll continue to fight as hard as possible and continue representing you all. So thank you again.
All the best. Thank you for the time, Jessica.
Thank you.
All right. There she is. Breaking news here on the MMA Hour. Jessica Aguilar, the former World Series of Fighting strawweight champion, considered by many to be the number one strawweight in the world, is now a free agent, and she wants to sign with the UFC. She said she came to this decision a week ago. Now, we know this has been talked about for quite some time, but wow, how about that timing with Carla Esparza coming on this show just 7 days ago and accusing her of being on PEDs, and this all comes 7 days later. Pretty interesting stuff. Hopefully they get the deal done, and hopefully we see her inside the octagon. She would be a very, very good addition to that 115-pound division.